Everyone. Today we will be talking about the periodic table of elements, and in part one today, we'll be looking at how to read the periodic table. So if we recall from our last lesson, we know that elements are the simplest form of matter, which can't be broken down into any simpler substances. We also know that all matter is made up of one or more elements. Now, you need to know that every element is unique, meaning that it is different from every other element. So if you pick any element on the periodic table, it is completely unique and is not the same as any other element on the table. That is why they are classified as their own individual element. That means that each element has its own set of unique physical and chemical properties, which just means characteristics. So elements are very much like you. No element is the same as another. No element has the same properties or characteristics as another element. So the periodic table of elements, which we see over here on the right, is a table that organizes all of the known elements based on their properties, which we know are all unique to each other. For each element in the table, there is a lot of information about that element that's provided by its square in the periodic table. Those are the element's name, the element's symbol, the element's atomic number, and the element's atomic mass. Today, we're going to talk about what all four of those things are. So the first thing that we need to know how to do while reading the table is to recognize the element's name. Not much to say about this one. You generally find it somewhere towards the bottom of the square, and it is simply the name of the element. In our example, we're going to be looking at carbon. So you can see here, the name of the element is simply written out towards the bottom of the square. The next piece of information that's included in an element square on the periodic table is its atomic symbol. The atomic symbol is usually found right in the center, and it is often one of the largest pieces within the square. The atomic symbol is a 1 or 2-letter abbreviation for the element. The first letter is always capitalized. If it is a 1-letter symbol, obviously the first letter is the only letter. However, if it is a 2-letter symbol, the second letter in the symbol will always be lowercase. You're going to see as we go further in the unit that it is important to keep that in mind. The symbol can be used to represent the element, and it will be used in writing chemical formulas, which is something that we will do again later in the unit. The next piece of information found in an element square on the periodic table is its atomic number. So generally you will find the atomic number at the top of the element square. For carbon here, we can see that its atomic number is 6. Now, the periodic table is organized from lowest atomic number, which is 1, found all the way at the top left-hand corner, down to the very highest atomic number, which would be found down at the bottom. Let me jump back and show you what I mean by that. So if you're looking for the very lowest atomic number, which is 1, you would start up here in the top left-hand corner. Atomic numbers then increase as you move downward and rightward along the periodic table, just like if you were reading a paragraph. So again, atomic number 1 all the way up here in the top left, and as we go down further and further to the bottom, we will see our highest atomic numbers down at the bottom right. Now, what is the atom's atomic number, and why are the periodic table elements arranged in order of atomic number? Well, the element's atomic number tells us some very important information about the element, which is the number of protons contained in one atom of the element. So as long as you know the element's atomic number, you know how many protons are in one atom of that element. Using carbon as an example, we now know that one atom of carbon contains 6 protons. The next piece of information that's provided in a square of the periodic table about an element is its atomic mass. This is the number, which is oftentimes a decimal or not a whole number, found at the bottom of the element square. For our example of carbon, we see that its atomic mass is 12.011. Elements, just like with atomic number, are organized in the same direction from smallest atomic mass all the way down to largest atomic mass. This tells us the mass of one atom of the element. If we recall from our atomic structure lesson, we know that the atomic mass of an atom is made up of two of its three subatomic particles. Those are its protons and its neutrons. So again, the atomic mass is the sum of the atom's protons and neutrons. In the next lesson, we are going to find out how to use all of this information to determine the number of protons, electrons, and neutrons that are in a single atom of any element on the periodic table.